Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the fifth and final day of the third annual Gauteng Invitational Water Polo Tournament, hosted here at St. David's Marist, Inanda. We have our first game of the day about to kick off here for 9th and 10th playoff. We have the Gauteng Invitational side befitted by the Black Caps up against the Maputo side in the White Caps. Thank you again for joining us through this long weekend and festive season. We've had some amazing water polo in the men's and the ladies section. And from all of us here at ItsHappening.Africa, we want to wish you guys all a very happy Easter. First possession here in favor of the Gauteng Invitational side. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Paul Gush on the ball. Giving back to fellow Trident's compatriot there, Cable Grimmett, who asked me to call him Caleb. Shipway trying to slip into centre there. Angelucci doing well to draw a foul. Feeding out to Cross, who's given it back in. Another go here has got Angelucci. He's trying to beat Belcher. We're going to have to do a bit better than that to beat the ex-SA men's keeper. Perhaps still a bit cold this morning is Grant Belcher. Not his most explosive strokes to regain possession there, conceding a 2-meter. Big smile on his face, says my cousin Belcher. Matthew Cross, Paul Gush, feed centre, looking for a turn there. I believe is Musset, not able to get that off against Ricardo dos Santos, and Grant Belcher cleans up. Josh Rustenberg, the danger man for this Maputo side, fetching on the left, feeding to Lunat on the right, who's looking for his family member, the other Lunat, Igor Lunat that time. Trying to go for a Twin Towers technique there, but too much on that from Ivan. Not able to get onto the hand of Igor, who tries to redirect that into the near side, but wide of the cage. Paul Gush, fetching in the center. The man with bigger abs than I have pecs. Slipping into center here for Angelucci. Quick release back shot there. Grant Belcher knows his cage. That comes off the inside of the frame and he cleans up. Scoreline still locked at 0-0 here on this brisk Easter Sunday morning. Ricardo dos Santos now is going to occupy that free water given to him by Mr. Paul Gush. Josh Rustenberg, they're going to want to close this man down. He's fed over to Lunat. Pig Bork looking for a close cage finish. Coming off the woodwork there. Good perimeter shooting from Ivan Lunat. A bit more intensity and intentionalism coming from this Maputo side than we've seen this weekend. Gush spotting his open man. Matthew Cross has got the turn off there against Edson Igashev, and he's sent to the naughty corner for good measure. Power play now. We're going to set up a 5-on-4 here. 3 down on the bottom, 2 up top. Shipway. Musset. Cross. With a schoolboy error there. Shooting from the right wing as a right-hander. The lowest percentage shot in that situation. A big balk to draw the defense over, and a pass back across would probably have been his best option. Another schoolboy area. Sultan Saiz jumping into the pool over the lane rope, not following the laws of the game, and he's sent straight back to the naughty corner and a turnover in possession. The under-19s recovering the ball with a 3-on-2 again. Yeah, Shipway makes no mistake. Quick release into the top right-hand corner. Grant Belcher not able to do anything about that. And first blood to the Gauteng Invitational side. Grant Belcher having a word with the refs, asking for a little bit of leniency here. They only get this Maputo side only play about once a year, so massive learning experience for them. And of course, they haven't had many competitive games, so perhaps trying to see if he can get his side to at least get a taste of competition here. Cordera, Angelucci, beautiful steal. Shipway, read that early, and he's away. Angelucci spotted. Saiz pressurizing from behind. Shipway freeing up the arm, giving a lean, trying for something a bit more delicate there with a King Cobra lob, but only finding the frame of the goal. Dos Santos fetches up on the other side. cross covering back here on Igashev. Mustard helps him out. Cordero taking the order in front of him. Rustenburg with a big clearance drive down the center, pulling Gush across the cage. Dos Santos looking for something ambitious. Liam Tibbet not sure on the trajectory of that, so he gets a hand to it, puts it out of bounds for a 2-meter. Rustenburg gets us back underway. Dos Santos slipping into a shooting lane, with his double cap number, Matthew Cross, or opposite 7, I beg your pardon. Lunat looking for something ambitious there. That back shot just coming past the outside of the right post. He can put some venom on those back shots. Not the most power on that one, but Shipway straight back up the other side. Easy pass into Mustard, draws over defender, pops over to Angelucci. Big balk from him, sinks the keeper and passes into cross cage. Textbook finish coming from Angelucci there. Well worked from the Gauteng Invitational side. Full cavalry change coming in for the Maputo side. 1 or 2 sets of fresh legs in for the Invitational. Regan Fisher in. Along with the likes of Daniel Pronk. Looks like Logan Dupree are going to go sit set now. Ruben Frio. Dupree cross covering, looking for Lunat in the center. Spotted Rustenburg, but Grimmett doing enough there to get Rustenburg off his head, off his legs, I beg your pardon. And that was a scrappy pass cleaned up by the Saints boy Tibbet. Grimmett with a push pass, finding the front of Mustard there. Gush working very hard in the center, but next wave with Dupree coming through. I beg your pardon, that's Pronk. Makes no mistake, makes that look absolutely effortless and passes into the left-hand side of the cage. Grant Belcher has put some massive saves in for this Maputo side this weekend, not having his best start to this game. Caleb Grimmett calling for a tight press from the Invitational side. These two teams obviously competing for 9th and 10th place. Cordero spotting Dos Santos. Gush with the perimeter pressure. Grimmett on a front mark here. So a full pull press coming from the Invitational side. Ambitious pass from Dos Santos, has weighted that perfectly, connecting with left-hander Lunat on the left. Right, I beg your pardon. Fisher draws the foul. Rustenburg trying to work off of Grimmett. They have spotted him, but not the greatest pass coming from the Maputo side. Number 11, Ruben Frio. Going to need a bit more height on that if he wants to get that onto the hand of Rustenburg. But Dupree up the other side now. Given space by his teammates on the left, so he's going to occupy that space. Setting up in a flat line here on the Invitational side. Gush, the lefty. Beautiful finish coming in from Mr. Gush there on the right-hand side. Opening his angle with a big stroke and showing his experience in firing cross cage. Beautifully converted attempt from him. The Invitational side should just be a bit wary there. When you're driving in a 3-on-2 situation, you don't want to sit in a flat line. Becomes a very easy situation for the defenders, well, to defend. Better to set up in a triangle with 2 players wide of the post and the player in the center sitting a bit further back, perhaps on 4 meters, to try and pull the defenders off and create an easy pass into the cage. Lunat over to Frio. The Invitational here have been caught napping. Lunat looking for something special. Quick release shot from him, firing over the crossbar. Tibbet untroubled by that attempt. Once again, quick counter-attack from the Invitational side. Dupree fetching on the left. Fisher in support with Pronk. Dupree going to want to feed Pronk here for a pass in. Or he's going to do it all on his own there. Couple big balks and firing over the head of Grant Belcher. More of the selfish option coming from Dupree there. The higher percentage play was the cross pass, but converted nonetheless. Strong start from the Gauteng Invitational side. Scoreline reading 5-0 already. Of course, this invitational side decorated with schoolboys and a couple of senior men's players in between. Pronk, I believe, a Saints boy on the perimeter pressure there. Fisher, member of the Tridents Club, with a perimeter pressure and a contra foul on Rustenburg there, on Caleb Grimmett. Also a member of the Tridents Club. His younger brother, Tristan, part of that Tridents men's setup. Mustard now, St. John's boy on the ball. Dupree, I believe, a Saints boy, doubled his tally. Clinical shooting coming from him, receiving that in a first-time catch and release into the near side of the cage. Paul Gush, the senior in this side, encouraging his team, letting them know he's happy with the polo they're playing. Paul Gush with the body of an 18-year-old, absolutely shredded for a man of his maturity. Also a man of incredible character. We've had a gazebo collapse and Paul Gush first to respond off the bench to go and help. Ambitious pass into center there, cleaned up by Regan Fisher. We're an extra man here. Hollingworth, another Saints point support on the right for Fisher. He spotted him. Hollingworth with a tap forward. Fisher keep going with the drive on his opposite six. Hollingworth spotted Saints boy on the left. Dupree, 3 from 3 for him. Clinical from Logan Dupree. Beautifully worked from Braden Hollingworth. Very unselfish from him to play that ball across. Trying to connect with centre there, Rustenburg, who's found himself on 8 meters as the centre forward. Connecting to a beautiful pass into the hand of Lunat. He's going to look for Igashev in the centre. Beautiful pass. And they've earned their first power play of the game here. Daniel Pronk, the Saints boy, sent to the naughty corner. Ivan Lunat. Next wave coming through with Alan Sergio. Let one rip. Simon Mustard up huge with that block. Cleaned up by Hollingworth. Hollingworth up the right side of the pool. A brisk re-entry coming from Andrea Angelucci on the left here. Teammates calling for the pass to the left. 3-on-3 situation. Angelucci going to roll Igashev in here. Alan Sergio with a hard foul on the perimeter on Mustard. He's gone for an ambitious back shot here. I'm not sure how much the keeper knew about that, but he keeps it out the cage nonetheless. Silvio Freitas cleaning up. Over to Sergio. Sandro Mushanga. Mustard on the perimeter pressure. A bit short there for Lunat, but no issues for him. Regan Fisher applying perimeter pressure phenomenally well, showing hands there, but too much weight from him. Lunat! Wide of the cage there. Not a bad opportunity to shoot. Almost taken beautifully. Tibbett's gone for one himself here. But he's met Jose Mushanga in the cage of the Maputo side. And the first shaka comes to a close. The scoreline reading 7-0. We'll see you again after the short break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second chukker of the opening game on the fifth and final day of the third annual Gauteng Invitational Water Polo Tournament in the men's section, hosted here at St. David's Marist, Inanda. Of course, statistics, coverage and commentary brought to you by ItsHappening.Africa. A chilly Easter Sunday morning here at St. David's, a little overcast, but the pool nice and warm. First swim for possession here is recovered by Dos Santos, but Cameron Miller has kept going and won that ball. Sloppy passing there from Shipway. Rustenburg and Grimmett having a physical conversation here in the center. Out to the left with Darian Salovi, back to cross. Shipway trying to get himself into a shooting lane against Dos Santos. Grimmett. Grimmett! Great attempt. Inside the reach of replacement goalkeeper there. Jose Mushanga and Rustenburg up the other side of the pool now with Tibbet. Brings him up nice and high and a delicate finish from him. Passing it over. The outstretched arms of Liam Tibbet in the cage. And Maputo have themselves on the board now for the first time in this game. As we've seen throughout this tournament, Maputo relying on the goal-scoring prowess of Josh Rustenburg. Grimmett getting us back underway. Shipway, St. John's boy, over to the Saints boy cross. Shipway again working against Dos Santos, draws an ordinary foul outside 6. He's gone for something special. Back shot wide of the cage there from Shipway. Very ambitious attempt. That pass up the pool coming off Shipway's ear cap, finding itself in the hands of Rustenburg. Grimmett going to have to close him down. He knows this is the danger man. Looking for a high ball there onto the left-hand side with Dos Santos. He's let one rip, but Tibbet has it covered on the close corner. And Cross lengthening his stroke up the side of the pool, feeding into Angelucci. Massive block coming in at centre back there for Silvio Freitas. I think Angelucci had a bit more time there than he thought. Sandro Mushanga. Cameron Miller pressuring. Rustenburg on Grimmett. Grimmett showing hands. No foul yet. Foul this time. Rustenburg resumes play quickly. He's caught Grimmett napping up. Straight behind into 2 meters. Grimmett left with no choice but to take the exclusion. He knows the rules of the game, does the young man. Shipway with a very hard foul there. Dos Santos drawing that foul. The Maputo side, who just won an exclusion, are still man down on attack. The gas tanks on this side, not the strongest. Sandro Mushanga. That shot met by Liam Tibbet on its way to the cage. Logan Dupree, hat-trick hero back in the pool here for the Gauteng Invitational side. Cameron Miller. Matthew Cross spotting Angelucci. He's gone for a turn, but oh my days. Silvio Freitas has robbed that man clean. Absolutely nothing in that there. Beautiful steal in the center back position there from Silvio Freitas. It's Igashev on the ball now, drawing a foul from Dupree. Rustenburg trying to free up, but the Invitational side have identified him as the threat. Double man mark on him. He's turned to open water, and the Invitational side haven't responded. They've got the ball with Dos Santos. They're trying to give a high pass there to Rustenburg, but far too low into the hands of Tibbet, who doesn't have to do much to capture that. But Cameron Miller lengthens in stroke, and we've got a 4-on-3 here. Let's see how this team's going to set up. Dupree slipping into the shooting lane on the left. Darian Salovi spinning it on his hand for traction. Moving beautifully. Not able to convert as beautifully as he moved there. firing to the near side, coming off the frame of the cage. And Jose Mushanga comes away with possession. Haldadwari. Lofted pass here to Dos Santos. This man covers every drop of water in this pool. Calling for a shot there. That wasn't a bad attempt. Cleaned up there by Rustenburg. And the ref has awarded it. Dos Santos there with a good shot to the cross cage. Liam Tibbet gets a hand. But Josh Rustenburg first to respond. Picking that up off the water. And making no mistake into the near side of the cage. Doubling his tally and his team's tally in this game. 7 goals to 2 now in favor of the Invitational side. Looks like Logan Dupree is going to go sit now. Angelucci going to come out onto the left-hand side. Hollingworth on control on the right. Lunat there against his opposite, number 5, Logan Dupree. Has impeded him, so he's sent to the corner. Great centre forward work coming in from Logan Dupree. He's had a phenomenal game so far. Moving the ball around the perimeter, the Invitational side. Miller, big walk. Hollingworth. Hollingworth occupying the free water. Dupree sliding onto post. No cover. Rustenburg's going. Hollingworth fires. Comes off the woodwork. That ball not moving around enough there for the Invitational side. Rustenburg did go early, but Cross has covered him. A little disappointed that Matthew Cross's parents didn't name him Chris. But that's just a personal opinion. More of a joke, if anything. Lunat draws an ordinary foul here from Hollingworth. He can rip one. He's fired. Gone wide of the cage though. Tibbet untroubled. Beautiful shape on that ball from Tibbet. Rests beautifully on the water for Miller. Dupree once again open on the left. The next wave coming through, but they've slowed that down. Angelucci, 3 big balks, 4. Playing a little chip pass to himself off the back of his head. Dupree, who's been clinical all day long, looking to go himself this time, but a huge block coming in on the perimeter from Ivan Lunat. That ball needed to move all 3 or all 4 of the Maputo defenders inside the post there with hands up. They needed to play around that defense there. Lunat connecting with Rustenburg. Absolute takers from him. Working very hard here. And he's won the penalty. Phenomenal hands coming in from Josh Rustenburg. Receiving that ball in the front water. Bringing it up in the air. So the refs can see his arms. Able to move to positive water and impeded. Goal scoring chance there. Or probable goal, if you will, impeded. So penalty earned. And Rustenburg going to take his own penalty here to complete his hat-trick. Firing into the left side of the cage. Talismanic is this Josh Rustenburg young man. Willing to do anything for this team is Josh Rustenburg. Beautiful shooting from him. Angelucci out. Looks like Musset back in on the left side. Who's put in an absolute shift for this Gauteng Invitational team this weekend. I believe the words Caleb Grimmett used to me were, he's been absolutely balling. Grimmett still working hard here. trying to free up the arm on his back. Let one go. Jose Mushanga says, no, sir. Gonna have to do better than that. Great reflexes from the goalkeeper. Perhaps Grimmett could have let that go a little bit earlier. Maybe trying to find his legs. But they were also enjoying Easter Sunday. Miller's looked for something ambitious. Mushanga steps up to save again. Grimmett trying to clean up. And that ball put out of bounds. Grimmett with a look of absolute disbelief on his face. Mushanga out to Igashev. Maputo are going to set up a man-on-man here. Awesome to see. Lunit, the big man Igor, on the hand to Dos Santos. Cordero working in center here. That ball over to Igashev. He's let one go. Tibbet got that covered all day. And Miller up the other side for a 2-on-1. Gives a quick check behind him to see what time and space he's got. Opening his angle here. Textbook from Miller. Cool, calm and composed. Reads the situation beautifully. Receives that ball. Rolls on his back. Has a look who's pressuring him from behind. Sees he's got time and space. Picks that ball up. Lets the keeper expend his legs. And fires past him on the right-hand side. Great goal, Cameron Miller. Eight goals to 3 here. Strong second chucker from this Maputo side. They were 7-0 down after the first. It's 8-3 now, so they're winning this chucker 3-1. Helder Dwaudi with 45 seconds left on the clock and 15 on the shot clock. Out to Igashev, pressurized by Salovi. Back to Dwaudi. He's let one go. Miller, our goal scorer, was able to block that. The coach throwing the ball in there. Josh Rustenberg showing us he can use all his limbs to score and using his head to put that past the keeper. Doesn't count though, but a bit of banter here in the pool. Hollingworth. He can also shoot, but he's getting to feed there. 10-on-10 with Grimmett up against Cordero. Too much spin on that ball and it skims off the water. Rustenberg fetching on the half. Massive pressure coming from the Invitational side. Rustenberg going to 2. Mussett closes off his angle. Looped past there to Lunit. He's let one go. But Tibbet's untroubled again. And the scoreline reads 8 goals to 3 at the end of the first half. And we'll see you again after this short interval. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on this oh so crispy Easter Sunday. Our first game of the day in the men's section for 9th and 10th place. The Gauteng Invitational side locking horns with the Maputo side. And the Invitational side currently leading 8 goals to 3. And Shipway wins the first possession, and Hollingworth on the ball now. The Saints boy feeds out to Mr. Paul Gush. Paul Gush showing strength, looking to feed into centre. Beautiful ball into the middle there from Gush. Fantastic centre work coming in from Pronk. Contra foul there given. I believe that pass from Paul Gush to connect with Pronk was called inside 2 meters. No player can be inside the little 2 meter box. If you can look at the cage, you can see the red markings on either side of the post. And if you look to the side of the pool, there's a red beacon. If you can imagine those lines connecting, they create a little rectangle around the cage. You cannot be in there. So reversed on the previous attack there was Pronk. Gush trying to get a quick one off, but he was reversed. Beautiful crash coming now from Maputo. Helder Dwari stealing that ball off of Pronk. But now Dos Santos up the left side of the pool. Hollingworth closing. Gush back in support with Musset. Igashev given time and space here by his opposite 12. Lofted pass over there to the lefty Lunat. Shipway with pressure. The pass still gets away to Igashev. Musset draws a foul. Outside 6. He's had a go. Massive block coming in on the perimeter there. Not sure if that was Paul Gush or Logan Dupree. But great blocking effort coming from the Invitational side. And Shipway on his way to deliver here. Feeds into centre with Pronk, who's won the exclusion. Number 9, Helder Dwari, getting his first marching orders of the game. Power play now for the Invitational. Shipway spinning on his hand for good measure. Opting to do it himself there, but only finding the woodwork of the cage. Hollingworth cleans up. Ordinary foul inside 6. Penalty. I believe there was an exclusion there on Helder Dwari, number 9, and he impeded play. So once you're excluded, you cannot be involved in the game whatsoever. Any influence play there, so penalty. 1 major quickly turned to 2 for Dwari, and Hollingworth up to bat here. The ref asking players to retreat to the 6 meter. Only the penalty taker can be on the 5, which is the red marker on the side of the pool. The 6 is the yellow. Hollingworth fires past Mushanga in the cage. Too much pace on that ball. Mushanga makes the read, but can't get his hands to it. And Hollingworth gets himself on the score sheet. Rustenburg with one of the 2 seats at the Hat-Trick Heroes table, joined by Logan Dupree on the opposite side. Rustenburg, they're looking for something sneaky here. Musset pressurizes just in time. Rustenburg feeds out to Lunat. Shipway pressurizes. Rustenburg hoping for a high ball here. Trying to recover the inside water. But he's caught inside 2 meters. Great defensive effort from Musset to keep Rustenburg out. And Luke Dupree now in as replacement goalkeeper for the Invitational side. And Paul Gush, the man with more abs than I have dreamed, storming up the right side of the pool. The lefty freeing up his arm here. Great patience shown from the man. Spots Shipway on the left. He's let one go, but he's found the outside of the closed post, and that goes out of bounds. Possession for Maputo now, unscathed by that attempt. Shipway rushing that. Paul Gush taking his time, trying to work that ball to the open man. Dupree pressurizing Cordero all the way into his own 6. Igashev lofted pass to Lunat. Pronk almost able to get that steal off. He has to let that ball go. The ref's being a bit lenient here. Rustenburg working. Great weighted pass to him. He's turning for open water. Musset closing it. Looking for something fancy as Rustenburg. Musset says, no, sir. You're not pulling something like that off on me. Dupree, hat-trick hero. Given time and space here, he'll punish you if you don't close him. opting to feed into second centre, and Shipway's gotten the better of Igashev, and he's sent to the naughty corner. So power play now for the Invitational side. Paul Gush, the lefty, slipping onto the right side. He knows his spot in the pool. Dupree looking to do it himself again. Mushanga says, nay sir. Hollingworth recovers. Out to Gush. One big balk. It's Hollingworth again. Dupree, Shipway. Big balk from him. Fires into the crossbar and out of bounds again. Paul Gush not happy with that. Very slow ball movement on the perimeter there for the power play. And not a great shot to chase it. You want to look for high ball and catch and release on the man up. You want to pull that defense apart. The Invitational side there did it for a few seconds. A glimpse of beauty. Not able to finish off in style. Cordero draws a foul from Dupree, and Dos Santos lengthens his stroke. Double man mark here on Rustenburg. Hollingworth coming away with that ball before it can get to Rustenburg in centre. Dupree looking for a high ball to Pronk. Beautifully weighted. Pronk makes no mistake. Passes into the bottom corner on the near side. Nothing Jose Mushanga can do on that attack. And the Invitational side extend their lead to 7 goals here. Mr. Paul Gush with a big smile on his face, huffing and puffing, all 27 of his abs showing. The players calling here for an extra player. Slow response from the Maputo bench, but a response comes nonetheless. Perhaps reception a bit low here. Clouds interfering. But Dos Santos gets us underway. Grimmett trying to pull off something sneaky there. Smirk on his face. He knows he got caught. Dos Santos saw him coming. Big pass out to Sultan Size, who's drawn a foul off of Miller. Trying to slip into centre with Rustenburg, who's working out. He's on top of Angelucci. Perhaps the ref saying there, Angelucci ducking under, trying to look for a call. And Rustenburg gets himself his 4th goal of the game. He kept working, he played to the whistle. The player doing the player's job. The ref doing the ref's job. We've seen some ill discipline this weekend from some players, loving to have a word with the ref. It's not what you want to do as a player. You want to play the game, let the refs do their work. Caleb Grimmett looking for something special, a huge balk, but then releases over the crossbar on the left-hand side. He balked Mushanga there, and he went off to Pretoria. Grimmett fired to the other side of the goal, but he went to Alberton. Not able to convert there, Grimmett. Big effort, though. Sultan Size. Grimmett impeding. 9 seconds left on the clock here. Size looking for a beautifully weighted pass to Lunat. Almost able to connect there with a beautiful long pass. But a little bit too much on that from Sultan Size. And the Invitational side come off unscathed. Cross recovers. Back to Dupree. Regan Fish with a beautiful lob. Oh my days. The audacity of Regan Fisher to go for a lob from, was that 10 meters on the left-hand side. And all we hear is the sound of the net as that ball glides past Mushanga in the cage. Fisher with a fitting smile on his face. A work of art, that lob. If he was a schoolboy, I'd let him know. If he was doing physics, looks like he's got his vertical projectile motion on lock. Cordero. Lunat, catch and release. Beautiful finish. Luke Dupree well and truly beats him there. Angelucci letting him know. He knows that's gone over his head. And a fresh steaming donut chat on Easter Sunday. Luke Dupree, the recipient Ivan Lunat, the provider. Beautiful response from Maputo. Fisher to Salovi, slipped into Grimmett on centre. And Silvio Freitas doing too much there to impede Grimmett, and he wins the exclusion. 5-on-4. There'll be a 3-on-2 here on 2 meters. Grimmett trying to free himself up in the centre. Not a great pass. Huge balk coming from Grimmett. Has a second bite of the cherry. The first one he did was a rinse and repeat of this. First one he missed. Second one converted beautifully into the top left-hand corner. Ironing out the kinks there is Grimmett, and converts in style. Scoreline reading 12 goals to 5 now. Invitational side with a 7-goal lead. Yagashev over to Saiz. Miller with the perimeter pressure. Dwowdy. Yagashev. He'll happily take this water. Rustenburg trying to free his arm. Connected there with Yagashev. That pass too low for Rustenburg and not able to trouble Luke Dupre. Beautifully weighted long pass up here to Grimmett, who's trying to do a no-looker. Mushanga says, no sir, you can go watch that save on YouTube. Grimmett in disbelief, looking at his own goalkeeper, trying to beat the opposite. And Mushanga comes up huge for his side. Plays himself here, Grimmett. Miller working in the centre. Grimmett giving a beautiful pass into the middle. Ordinary foul from Dwowdy. Miller to cross. Cross! Beautiful finish. Bouncing under the left arm of Mushanga in the cage. Beautiful cross-cage shot coming from Matthew Cross there. Gets himself on the score sheet for the first time this game. Rustenburg gets us back underway. Saiz is napping out. The importance of making eye contact before your pass. Visibly shown here. Miller, Fisher in support. Salovi takes too long, gives it out to Cross, who's opened up beautifully. Great balance from Cross. Two big balks, looking to repeat the magic of the previous finish, but bouncing well over the cage. Looks like that caught a bit of a wave. Came out of his hand with some venom, but after it bounced, it took more of a lob trajectory. Rustenburg intelligently playing himself on the perimeter, and he's kept going. Angelucci looking for something. Miller trying to cover. Rustenburg working beautifully into the center there, getting a shot off. Luke Dupre saving that with his left eyelid. But penalty one there. It was advantage to Rustenburg, apologizing to the keeper. For those who are unaware of how the advantage rule works, Rustenburg probably would have scored that if there was no defender there, Miller. But Miller putting pressure on from behind, so impeding probable goal. If he had converted that attempt, it would have counted as a goal, but he didn't, so he gets the pen. And contra foul on the penalty there. Referee Greg Higgs saying encroaching on his penalty attempt, I believe. Angelucci pressured by Cordero. Cordero almost able to get that ball, but Fisher looking to connect with Grimmett, but Dos Santos with a beautiful steal and some sleight of hand to get that ball back out there to number 6, Sandro Mushanga. Cross with the perimeter pressure. Igashev, the lefty on the ball, feeding out to Rustenburg. Perhaps a fouling shot coming from him. Miller not wanting to give him an easy foul, but he's let one go. Luke Dupre untroubled. Fantastic pressure coming from Landal Cordero, winning that ball off of Dupre. And Dupre fouls him. So penalty. Penalty here. Referee on the near side here saying the time was done before that penalty was called. Greg Higgs on the far side confirming with table. Time was up. No penalty there. And we come to an end of the third chuck-up with scoreline reading 13 goals to 5. And we'll see you for the concluding chuck-up after this short break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The final chukker of the first game of the day on day 5 of the 3rd annual Gauteng Invitational Water Polo Tournament. Shipway with a big breaststroke stroke to finish that swim off. A nippy Easter Sunday here. And the Gauteng Invitational side have opened the day with some style here. A dominant display over this Maputo side. Fisher using his left hand there to try and feed into center with Pronk, who's not able to convert. And Helder Dwari cleans up. Igashev, referee here saying your head went underwater, so you're not going to get that call. Igashev drawing a foul on Shipway. Long pass up to Ivan Lunat. Rustenburg working hard in the center against Masset. Masset defending beautifully, occupying front water. Dos Santos trying to get a turn off on Fisher. Fisher with pressure, fouled. Dos Santos almost able to pull off a miracle there. Firing from 8, coming off the woodwork. Right idea there from Dos Santos. Almost able to execute to perfection. Fisher popping into the driving Dupré. And he's bulleted that into the post. Not able to get his 4th goal there is Dupré. Dos Santos out to Lunat. Shipway trying to get a sneaky steal off here. Lunat could have turned him, opting for the safe pass to Igashev. Lofted pass here to Cordero, who shielded that ball from Fisher. Rustenburg working for front water here. Mustard on his back. Cordero has converted if it was rugby, but it's not. So a big miss there from Cordero. Loose passing from the invitational side. And Igashev here to clean. Cordero spotting Dos Santos open on the other side. Time and space. But there's a wall in the cage. Luc Dupré with a huge save. And Musset able to return a man-up counter-attack here for the invitational side. Beautifully weighted pass to Dupré, occupying the open water. Playing into center for Pronk, who has gotten Edson Igashev his final marching orders of the day. His 3rd major there. So he shan't be playing or taking part anymore in this tournament. Only 5 minutes and 50 of the last chukker here though that he's going to be missing. Fisher using his left. Musset with some big balks. Shipway. Back to Musset. Belcher back in the cage. Fisher. Back to Shipway. Catch and release beautifully over the head of Belcher. Beautiful donut from Shipway. Grimmacher calling Fisher for a backshot lob or a windmill. Something special in the closing fixture of this game, of their tournament. Puts a case on it, says Grimmett. Case of cold ones. Can of course grab them straight after this game. Beer and gin on tap here at the Gauteng Invitational. Please join us for the final day. Lunat! Fired into the hands of Luc Dupré. Ice in the veins of Josh Rustenburg. Recovers that ball. Big balk, but impeded. Has the shot, but Dupré says no. Advantage, and then penalty. Rustenburg already on 4 goals in this game. He's going to try not get contra-fouled here again. He lets it go. Dupré sent the wrong way. Both hands coming to the shooter's left side. And Rustenburg fires into the right. Leading this game on goals here is Rustenburg with 5 to his name now. Shipway. Delicate pass into center. Pronk receives it. Pressure coming from Dwari. Masset fires over the cage. When you got keepers like Belcher in the goal, They have an influence before the shot's even been taken. You're concerned, you know if it's not your best shot, it's not going in. A blunder of a pass there, but recovered from Fisher, who's gone for the back shot lob! And he's won himself a case of cold ones. Grimmett says no. My opinion, that counts. Fisher calling for the rewards of the bet he had with his colleague. He pulled it off in some style. Maybe an empty promise coming from Grimmett. But best believe I'll be on his case to be true to his word. Dos Santos. Igor Lunat slipping into a shooting lane, yeah. Dos Santos with too much spin on that ball. If you want it to stick on the water, it's got to have a lofted shape on it, no flat lines and no spin. These new balls will skim all day. Dupree. Mr. Paul Gush converts. Paul Gush, cool, calm and composed there. Receiving that ball and beating Belshaw on the near side. Beautiful ball movement from Dupree to spot the open man, the left-hander on the strong side, and feeds him beautifully. And Gush makes no mistake. Completing his brace. Dwowdy looking for Rustenburg, but Rustenburg not even remotely looking at him. Eye contact, pivotal when you're looking for sneaky passes. Grimmett now, perhaps going to go for a lofted pass to the left chap. Angelucci unable to collect. Cross. Takes the water. Extends his arms and bullets into the top corner. Matthew Cross completes his brace. Beautiful display of shooting from that young man so far this game. Perhaps a favorite corner from him. Top right there. Of course, on the left side, cross cage always an option. But showing a range of techniques there is Cross. First one was a bounce shot. Second, straight bullets into the top corner. Gush with perimeter pressure here on Ricardo dos Santos. He's looking to connect. Beautiful pass to Lunat. Lunat sent that in. Rustenburg working hard here. Oh, my word, the Tickers. Beautiful finish from Rustenburg. Completes his second hat-trick in some style. The hands on that man are unbelievable. Scoring all but one of his team's goals in this game. Not the biggest man is Rustenburg, but he knows what he's doing. Scoreline reading 17-7 with 3 minutes and 12 left on the clock. Shipway with a skim pass back to Mr. Paul Gush. Shipway occupying right fetcher, slipping into Grimmett. Grimmett's gone for a back shot. But Regan Fisher still with bragging rights. Grimmett making excuses, saying he couldn't see that is the point of a back shot. Firing blind. Keeper can't make a read on a blind shot. Pass there from Belshaw. Perfectly placed off the head of Angelucci, ricocheting into the control of Rustenburg. Dos Santos on left point. Gush making his life difficult. Dos Santos plays himself. Gush resumes the pressure. Fantastic perimeter work coming in from Solovi, winning that ball off of Igor Lunat. And Matthew Cross using his long arms here to occupy this water in a 3-on-2. Turning into a 6-on-3. Beg your pardon, a 5-on-3. Angelucci all on his own now. No one in support from the invitational side, all swimming back. Grimmett perhaps should have slipped into the shooting lane on the left side. Paul Gush, with his wits about him, cleans up, somehow winning a 3-on-1 situation. Showing his experience there, Paul Gush reading that pass beautifully and responds first. Dupré up to cross. Shipway with a man on his back. Solovi spots the open man, cross, come up high, bouncing into the near side. No favored corner from him this time, and completes his hat-trick. Clinical display of shooting from Matthew Cross, the Saints boy. Back underway here. Sultan Saiz. Dos Santos open on the right. Don't know if that man's taken a break yet. Absolute gas tank on him. Trying to connect with Cordero, but efficient crash coming in from the Invitational side. Rustenburg trying to get something off of the keeper here. Dupré draws the foul. And the Invitational side are away on a man-up counter, but Dupré opting to cover back. Hollingworth still with 2 meters in front of his man on the right here. Fisher slowing the ball down. Solovi. Grant Belcher has read that like a book. Grimmett not able to receive that ball because Belcher read that play all day long and snatches it away from Cable Grimmett. Ruben Frio covering hard here as Shipway. Frio looking to turn him. Cordero on the ball on the right here. He's got a lean finish here. The positioning of Rustenburg, unbelievable. Coming off the hands there of Luke Dupré. Rustenburg recovers. Trying to feed into center there with Dupré. Has drawn a foul against Rustenburg. Rustenburg slips in Dos Santos. Ordinary foul there again from Dupré. The ref's calling them out of the 2 meter to resume play first. Still got 12 seconds on the clock here. They can take their time. Rustenburg looks like he may be trying to slip into a free shooting lane here. Trying to break the grip of Hollingworth. He's done so and received it. He's drawn a foul. 3 seconds on the clock. He's going to go for it. Big shot from him, but he's only met the arm of Solovi in the cage. Shipway. 7 left on the clock. Given to Grimmett, who's worked against Saiz. And Saiz's ball under him. Grimmett down a goal there and a case of beer. And we come to a close of the first game of the day on day 5 of the Gauteng Invitational. The Gauteng Invitational side emerging victorious. The scoreline reading 18 goals to 7. Maputo coming up short, but a massive display coming from Rustenburg with 6 goals. And we'll see you again in the next fixture. Take care.